Hi, welcome to Good Day Chicago and our 9 o'clock hour Tuesday, everybody. We're rocking and rolling. And here's a look at some of the stories that we're following for you this morning.
Local lawmakers are once again planning to tackle potential SNAP curfew plan for teenagers. Roseanne will break down where things currently stand ahead of today's potential vote.
Yeah, they've kind of changed it a couple times. Now it's like the time and place with the 12-hour notice. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Amore. You're probably dreaming, you know, of a big pizza. But Block Club Chicago is joining us to talk about their ultimate guide to the Chicago pizza scene. Cue the controversy on that.
Sure. Well, yeah. Everybody has their favorite.
Exactly.
Speaking of pizza, the husband and wife cooking duo at Chow Cafe, they're going to walk us through one of their romantic pizza-ish recipes for Valentine's Day.
Somebody can
Sounds
take some notes and put together for the lovely, right? Let's take a live look outside. Time is now 9:01. Checking in with Caitlin. Got a lot of sunshine out there. Bringing a little bit more warmth, it feels like, each and every day.
Look at that. It is so bright and happy. It still looks very winter-esque, though, with the snow on the ground, I gotta say. But satellite radar shows that some of you may actually have a few snowflakes still out there this morning. South of the city, I'm talking about Jasper, Newton counties, maybe very southernmost part of Kankakee. Don't be surprised if you see a few snowflakes. But today we are going to have sunshine. We are going to have temperatures in the 20s, though, too. So staying below where we should be for this time of year. Temperatures very similar to where we were yesterday. 17 currently in Waukegan, 15 at Woodstock, 20 from O'Hare to 21 at Midway. Temperatures in northwest Indiana in the low to mid 20s right now. Let's take a look at our futurecast and through the rest of the day. We do expect, as mentioned, temperatures pushing to the mid and upper 20s for most of us. This is 4:15 and our model is bringing in a touch of snow in northwest Indiana. You might see some light lake effect snow this afternoon into tonight. Even in Chicago, you might see a few snowflakes tonight. Temperatures dropping down to around 10 to 15 degrees for most of us as our low. And then tomorrow is going to be a day similar to today temperature-wise, with highs pushing back to the upper 20s. We're going to have sunshine with a few clouds around. And the temperatures, we're talking about the 30s. We keep teasing you. Well, at the end of the week, that's when the 30s will be here. Here's your 7-day forecast. Around freezing on Thursday and Friday, upper 30s. Fantastic. Now, this weekend, temperatures do decrease a touch back down to the upper 20s on Saturday. Sunday, right around 30. And then we may start off next week with freezing temperatures, which, again, would be great. That's where we should be for this time of year. In the meantime, today, we do have at least that blue sky, the sunshine. It makes all the difference with your mood in the winter in Chicago. Back to you.
That sunshine really does make a difference.
It does.
Yeah. A Chicago City Council committee could vote on a proposed teen curfew ordinance today.
Roseanne has more on this now second effort to discourage mass gatherings of teenagers downtown. Roseanne?
Brian, Anita, the first version was vetoed by Mayor Brandon Johnson. What's different this time, the Chicago police would be required to give 12 hours notice before restricting when and where teens can gather downtown. So the hope is that it would prevent those so-called teen takeovers that can get violent. But youth advocates say the curfews unfairly target brown and black young people. The folks at Bikes and Roses in the Belmont-Cragen neighborhood say providing alternative activities is the way to go. Young people come here to fix their own bikes and take part in what's become a full-blown business program. But supporters of SNAP curfew say after incidents like the shooting at the city's Christmas tree lighting, where one teenager was killed and several others shot, it is time to take some kind of action. Alderman Brian Hopkins introduced this ordinance.
Had that ordinance been in place, they could have used the curfew enforcement at 8 p.m., which could have potentially reduced the number of kids that were there and quelled the violence.
It doesn't really get to the root cause of the issue. If you involve young people and allow them the power to decide the things that's going to rule their lives, there's a lot more ownership and love that goes into it.
Council members on this public safety committee will hear from both sides and teenagers at their meeting today at 12:30. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you so much, Roseanne. We'll be looking forward to see if they have that vote a little bit later today. Elsewhere, the village of Harvey failed to appoint an acting mayor following the death of Mayor Christopher Clark.
The council voted twice last night, only to come up with a split vote both times. It was decided that Alderwoman Shirley Drewinski would continue as the pro tem mayor until the next vote. She's also in that vote for the possible acting mayor. The council will vote again at the next council meeting. Whoever is elected as the mayor will serve until April 2027, fulfilling Mayor Clark's full role.
A tight-knit BMX community in Northwest Indiana is grieving the loss of a young rider. The organization Steel Wheels BMX says that 13-year-old Oliver Ball Reed died at the track this past Saturday. Oliver had been racing for years, often alongside his younger brother, and was well known within the BMX community there. So far, no additional details have been released, but there is an investigation that is currently happening.
Today, a Chicago woman shot by immigration agents will be speaking about her case at a congressional forum in Washington, D.C. Marimar Martinez was accused of ramming her car into a Border Patrol vehicle back in October before federal agents shot her multiple times. All those charges against her were later dropped. A Chicago-based lawyer representing the family of Renee Good will also testify at that same forum tomorrow. Antonio Romanucci is leading the civil investigation into her killing. Two of Good's brothers are also set to testify.
A Minnesota medical examiner has ruled Alex Preddy's death a homicide. Federal immigration agents shot and killed Preddy last month during an encounter in Minneapolis. Now, by definition, a homicide ruling means that the death was caused by another person, but it does not determine if a crime was committed. The Justice Department has launched a civil rights investigation into that shooting. Well, today's show host Savannah Guthrie is talking about her mother's disappearance and potential kidnapping for the very first time.
And this story just has captured the nation. Guthrie addressed her mother's disappearance on Instagram, thanking supporters for their prayers. She goes on to say, "We believe in love and hope, and we believe in goodness." She ended the post with, "Bring her home." 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie disappeared on Saturday. Authorities say she was taken from her Arizona home by force in the middle of the night. They say that she is mentally sound. Like, she didn't just get up and wander out, but she does rely on medication, and they say she has to have that very soon.
This is a 84-year-old lady who suffers from some physical ailments, has some physical challenges, is in need of medication. Medication that if she doesn't have in 24 hours, it could be fatal.
According to TMZ, Pima County authorities are looking at registered sex offenders and combing through surveillance video from Guthrie's home and nearby homes to help trace her last steps. Homicide detectives are assisting with the investigation, although no body has been found, but so many questions. And again, the time is ticking. Prayers for that family. This is a horrible thing to go through for anybody.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking a live look outside the nation's capital this morning. We will soon see if the House can pass a bill to reopen the government. There's been a partial shutdown since Friday. The president says the House needs to pass the bill he worked out with the Senate and with Democrats. The bill would fund Homeland Security for another week and a half while talks continue over ICE. House Speaker Mike Johnson has been trying to convince Republican holdouts to vote for the bill. The GOP cannot afford more than one defection if that bill is to pass.
I was talking to somebody and I mentioned government shutdown, and they thought I was talking about the last one. And I was like, no, the one we're in now. Yeah.
Right. Meantime, President Trump says the White House is going to sue Harvard University for $1 billion. Last night, the New York Times reported that the White House dropped a $200 million demand from Harvard over claims of anti-Semitism. But shortly after that was posted, the president went on Truth Social and said that he would still pursue damages.
Well, Super Bowl week is in full swing in Santa Clara, California. How you feeling about it?
Seahawks cover.
Ooh.
Think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I think the Patriots, with everything happening with the owner and with Belichick not getting in, I think they may have a little
momentum.
There's so many storylines. I love the Vrabel storyline, you know, that he could be the first to play in one and coach in one and get championships. Well, the Seahawks and Patriots, yes, met the media for opening night. Beyond just the game, players and coaches are asked all sorts of strange questions.
Such as, if you were a tree, this is going back to old Barbara Walters.
Strange.
Saying, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Or their favorite, cheeseburger joint. Which is it? And even what their wrestling name would be.
Oh, I like that.
Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel was asked last night about the team's uniform decision.
Your team leaders, I am told, chose to wear the white away jerseys. Tell me about that mentality.
Well, I've always heard that white was slimming, so we went with the white ones. We have some guys that felt like the white was a little bit more slimming. But we, again, we have a great leadership council. Obviously, the captains that you just saw, and then the 7 other players that we feel like help us make decisions and that can reach the locker room. I go to them for a lot of things, and they said, let's roll with the whites.
Sounds like Brian and I might have a bet to make on this one. But with the Super Bowl does come a big increase in that betting market.
Yeah, speaking of that, billions of dollars. I don't think we're betting billions. I expect to
Let
be
me
weighted
find
on
out.
this year's game.
Credit counselor Michael McAuliffe joined me on Chicago Live with some tips on avoiding betting traps. Ooh, some folks get in some big ones, bet the whole house on it, and how to recover if losses spiral out of control.
You have to realize, or please realize, that gambling and sports betting should be entertainment. And we're talking to people and they're chasing their losses and they're saying it to us and to themselves, no, I was just on a cold streak, I'm going to be on a hot streak, and just use it as entertainment money. You want to drop $50, that's fine. But we talk to people that are dropping a whole lot more than that. We have people coming to us saying that like they're fighting with their spouse because they've got $20,000 in credit card debt now that is at 30% interest for sports gambling. We got other people coming to us saying, my spouse doesn't know what I've done and I need help.
Can you even imagine your spouse coming to you like, so babe, $20,000, we'll get it back someday. He also pointed to research showing 96% of sports gamblers end up losing money over a 5-year period. You think about how things roll over.
That just surprises me, though, just kind of the law of averages. They're saying that essentially 24 out of 25 people over 5 years lose money.
Yeah.
Did you tell me that there are only 4% of people or whatever it is that can, end up winning? It just seems like a really...
House always wins.
This is
House always wins.
But this is like, one side or the other.
Yeah. I think you end up like, one of the things we talked about was how you'll start betting on like the Super Bowl. What's right around the corner?
Oh,
March Madness. Yeah, it just starts to like, there's a ripple effect.
Here's good betting advice from me, not a professional gambler. If you can't name a couple players on the team that you're betting, don't make the bet.
I'll stick to fantasy football and leave it there. Well, it is a movie that was already getting a lot of buzz, and that was before the trailer dropped.
And after the internet is excited for Michael.
Do you know what I'm after? You want to be the biggest star in the world.
We need to capitalize on Michael's success because the Jackson family is the brand. That's our Coca-Cola. And we need to start selling. So I'm planning an international tour. This is just the beginning.
The Jackson brand is like Coca-Cola, and keep in mind the whole Pepsi is.
That's right. Yeah.
The movie will document the life and legacy of the late pop icon. The film stars the singer's nephew, Jafar Jackson, portraying his uncle. They look just alike.
Sounded like him, too.
There you go, yeah. The story follows his rise to fame, starting with the Jackson 5. The film also stars a nearly unrecognizable Coleman Domingo, the one and only Nia Long, Miles Teller, and Cat Graham. It arrives in theaters and IMAX April 24th. If there are 2 people that I never get, maybe 3 people I never get tired of seeing, like whatever documentary comes out about, Whitney, Elvis, and Michael.
Okay.
Anything that comes out, I'm like, okay, I'll go see.
You wouldn't put Prince on that, maybe?
How many have you seen about Prince?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Why is that? But
probably his estate.
His estate.
Yeah.
Like
he was very protective about it. Yeah.
So that looks good. I'm going to have to get out there to see it.
For sure.
All right, well, there's still time to participate in the Chicago Bears' 37th annual coat drive.
The Bears, along with Jewel Osco, the Salvation Army, and Sure-Way Movers, they're asking for your coat donations. All you have to do is drop them off at participating Jewel Osco stores now through February 16th. Find out more info online at chicagobears.com/coat drive. 9:14. Be right back.
All right, 9:16 right now. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday, so you know that means we've got to get to our friends from Block Club Chicago, always digging into what's going on around town in the neighborhoods. Jamie Nesbitt Golden, good to have you with us today. Thanks so much for being back.
Thank you for having me. It's my favorite thing.
Can we get a close-up on this? We love absolutely what you're doing there for Black History Month with your sweatshirt. Let's talk a little bit about what you actually came here to talk about.
Sure.
We're going to start off with a send-off party for Alarmist Brewing.
Yes. So Alarmist was a Sauganash staple for over a decade. Gary Gully, you know, it was kind of like the neighborhood Cheers. So there was a huge send-off party last weekend. Very, you know, jovial. I think Gully is trying to sell the business in hopes of finding a buyer to keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a really great place to, you know, meet people. You know, folks have met their spouses and, you know, made friends. It's you know, a Cheers. Like, it's very much a Cheers bar.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
That is true.
Yeah. And hopefully they do find out a way to, like, keep it going.
True. Also known for award-winning IPAs like Pantsless, Le Just. Amazing beer.
Well, that helps too, you know?
True.
That helps too. A good time in many ways. So also, you've been talking about a favorites list here. The finalists for Chicago's Name a Snowplow.
Yes.
My favorite was the Plowculator.
Mine too.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. So yes, there was. Okay. So Chicago residents have until Valentine's Day to vote for up to 6 finalists. And those finalists will be on trucks and all 6 snow districts. Go to chicagoshovels.org to vote. But among the favorites are Kevin McPlowerster.
Makes sense.
Kevin, like the sign for the Plowculator.
Time for the Plowculator. Time for the Plowculator. Yeah.
There was one for Derek Rose and
Derek Froze.
Derek Froze.
Caleb
Caleb, yeah. Also, like it's a number, like it's fairly like even like between, you know, like Bears fans, Bulls fans. Of course, Abolish ICE was at the top of that list. So yeah, no, it's a fun time and it gets people, you know, civically engaged.
Yeah, I think we have so many people around here who just have some time to come up with great creative names.
They are amazing.
I think there was Chance the Scraper.
I love that one too.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, I had to look at the list the minute it came out. Yeah, I'm not that creative to come up with one.
Have you ever voted in the?
I have not. But we have somebody around here who is a winner. I won't. We always end up throwing out Will's name, but we won't mention him. You know, we'll let him have his anonymity today. Finally, National Pizza Day coming up, and obviously Chicago. Like, we love pizza. It's a little controversial when you try to put a list together.
We're very, very possessive and very territorial when it comes to our pizza. And I am the same way. I know folks, you know, look down on, you know, deep dish pizza, but it's a great dish. You can't, you know. So we've got a list of, you know, different styles of pizza, and, you know, might open some spirited debate among folks.
Spirited, I like that. Yeah.
What I found interesting, I used to live in Rogers Park for a time. JB Alberto's is a Rogers Park staple, and but I never tried their double-decker pizza, which is just 2 thin crust pizzas on top of each other. I'm fascinated, so I have to go back and try it. But so our colleague takes you through sort of the history of this different styles of pizza. It's a good read.
Yeah, have to read on that one because yes, everyone has a different opinion on things. I don't look down on deep dish. My waistline does. But not me. Thanks for coming back. We always love having you here. Jamie Nesbitt Golden, everyone. All right, we've still got a lot to share with you this morning. Rosemont will get a chance to borrow the term happiest place on earth as Disney on Ice drops by with a very cool show. The Joffrey Ballet has an iconic new show to tell you about, and it might be cold outside, but pause Chicago. It's gonna warm all of our hearts. It's all coming up in the next hour on Chicago Now at 10 a.m. Brian?
Always a little pause, right? But coming up, I'm taking you inside Clearbrook's PAL program, where communication looks different for everyone, and that's by design.
What's your case worth?
For many families, the question comes after graduation. What's next? Well, for adults with developmental disabilities, finding purpose, independence, and a voice can feel out of reach. One program in the Chicago area is changing that by meeting people exactly where they are and letting them communicate in their own way. Inside this bright, busy space at Clearbrook's PAL program,
I have a question for you.
communication looks different for everyone.
Did you want to take the bus to Taco Bell? Yes. Yes.
That's exactly the point.
Everyone in PAL communicates a different way, which is pretty magical.
Some clients use picture-based systems.
You're on your greetings page. Did you have anything to say to everyone? I know there's a lot of people here.
Others rely on switches or electronic communication devices.
To start your new year in a cool way.
Many are nonverbal, but they are far from silent.
Everyone deserves the ability to communicate. Just because they can't use words doesn't mean they don't have anything to say. They have lots to say, actually. Did you like ice skating, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I know. She loves going fast. I call her like the Daredevil. She's got the need for speed.
That ability to communicate, even with a simple yes or no, opens the door to independence. That is the heart of the PAL program. Adults choosing their activities, sharing meals, working on crafts, even providing fashion advice.
What do you think of my dress, Annie?
Annie do not.
Annie do not. She don't like it. That's okay, because we all have different opinions.
For parents like Bob Peterson, those opinions are something he's waited decades to hear.
I spoke for Kimberly for her whole life, and we just have a thing, and I answer her questions, and it's not really always the best way to do it. PAL taught me to learn patience.
Then came a moment he'll never forget.
After being here for a while and Olivia started the communication program, she came back and said, Kimberly's got something to say to you, and they had actually recorded word by word on the switch. Hey, Dad, I'm 37 now, no more Disney.
A sentence years in the making.
Stuff like that happens all the time. It's magic.
Even something as simple as choosing how to wear her hair becomes a form of self-expression.
Yeah, she will let me know which one she wants. She wants a bun, her hair down, she wants, a bow.
And for the people who work here, that impact goes both ways.
And I learn something new every day. And it's been 25 years in this field, and every day, something new, a new challenge. Placement at Clearbrook is a gift for you, your family, and the child that you're placing.
A place where every voice matters, no matter how it's heard. Clearbrook's PAL program serves adults with developmental disabilities across the Chicago area, focusing on communication, independence, and community. If you would like to learn more or support the program, we posted those details on our website. Time now 9:26 this morning. We'll be right back on Good Day Chicago.
Fox 32 News is brought to you.
Opening statements are happening right now over a botched raid here in Chicago.
And former Mayor Rahm Emanuel has been a big part of the conversation in this case. So Saquon has the latest.
Good morning. This case actually goes back to 2018 when Chicago police allegedly walked into the home of an innocent family and traumatized them during an aggressive raid. Now, the family, which includes Ebony Tate, her 4 children, and her mother, Cynthia Eason, has now filed a federal civil rights lawsuit looking to hold the city of Chicago and its police department accountable. According to court documents, Chicago police swarmed the wrong apartment in the back of the Yards neighborhood, pointing assault rifles at children and forcing their grandmother to stand outside without pants on.
They had guns pointed in my grandson's face. One gun was pointed at my oldest grandson's temple.
The family wanted then Mayor Rahm Emanuel to testify after the former mayor publicly acknowledged a code of silence within the police department during a speech he made back in 2015. In that speech, he described the code of silence as a tendency to ignore, deny, or in some cases, cover up the bad actions of a colleague. He goes on to say, we cannot ask citizens in crime-ravaged neighborhoods to break the code of silence if we continue to allow a code of silence to exist within our police department. Initially, a federal judge did call the former mayor to the stand, but then reversed course just 2 days later, basically freeing him from testifying. We have reached out to lawyers for the city of Chicago and asked why that decision was reversed. We have not yet heard back. We do know a jury has now been selected and opening statements are set to begin here in just a little bit. We're expecting to hear testimony from the police officers who were involved in that raid, who are also named in the lawsuit, as well as the Tate family. Back to you.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be watching that closely, and we've been watching the weather closely for sure.
We sure have, and we've been watching the temperature slowly creep north up there. Mike, what do you look like you're kind of like squinting at something. What are you looking for?
See, you know, there's some ice there kind of in the distance on the river, and then in the foreground there, it's kind of ice-free. And we have ice on Lake Michigan as well. It has been so cold. I think the last day that it was above freezing was January the 16th, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves correctly. But at least it's beautiful out there. We have sunshine most of the area, blue skies over the city, and there is the ice pack that has formed out there, and more of the Great Lakes. I think if you take into account all of the Great Lakes, we're up to 50% coverage. It's a little bit less in Lake Michigan. Lake Erie, which is very shallow, has an awful lot of ice on it. Bright sunshine over the city and at O'Hare, where it's currently 20 degrees. Not a whole lot of wind, so the wind chill's 15 degrees. I mean, it's cold, but with the sun out, I don't think it's too bad out there. We've got 25 already at Joliet and LaSalle. LaSalle, you picked up some snow overnight. That's not going away anytime soon, but next week it's going to go away in a hurry. 15 at Woodstock, 17 at Waukegan, Michigan City and Gary and Merrillville all coming in with 25. Wind chills are at their worst, single digits, well northwest of the city. Feels like 9 at Waukegan, 5 at Woodstock. I hope they put Willie back in his den so he can sleep for a little while longer. Cloud cover and snow showers gone. At least the snow showers are out of here. Still some cloudiness well south of the city. City and points north enjoying lots of sunshine. Here's the deal, though. Going to get some lake effect going. Not like last week's lake effect. This is going to be light stuff, maybe even a few flurries this afternoon. But tonight into tomorrow, the lake effect gets a little bit more organized, and it may point into the city for a couple of hours, even into tomorrow morning. I just think accumulations are going to be minimal with this thing, maybe a coating to a half inch in a few spots. And then this thing is out of here tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a mixture of clouds and sun tomorrow. On Thursday, another little quick moving disturbance will slide in, possibly clipping some of the area during the morning and early afternoon, and then we'll have another one that comes in here on Thursday night into Friday. Today, 30, a little bit cloudier south, but in general, mostly sunny. A few flurries by the lake late. That will transition to some light lake effect snow overnight with a low temperature of 14 degrees. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. Now, there's no huge warm up here in the next 7 days. Beyond this time frame, next week, that's when we get into the much warmer air, 40s and possibly some 50s on the way. Just some minor snow chances here. No big accumulation expected. Picture time. We're giving 8 points to this one. Peggy Baker in Chesterton, Indiana, and Greg O'Neill showing us that buck hanging out there. Interesting, a little bit of bare ground out there in Chesterton. Not sure when you took that picture because you had an awful lot of lake effect snow last week, but deer definitely checking you out there. And our second video, this is from Jim Pirelli. Now, you might be saying, what on earth is Jim doing? You know what he's doing? He's making his own snow, doesn't have enough snow. He's actually building an igloo in which he will be inserting a 46-inch outdoor-ready television.
What?
And he and some friends are going to watch the Super Bowl in the igloo.
That is dedication.
We got to go back and check on
Exactly. Jim, if you're watching, man, please send us the after pictures.
We need updates.
All right, 9:34. We're going to be right back after this.
If this is your wreck.
All right, so yesterday we had a huge celebration of Groundhog Day. Well, there are two very important holidays coming up. One you probably already know, Valentine's Day. But did you know that National Pizza Day is just around the corner? Italian restaurant Ciao Cafe and Wine Lounge wants to help you celebrate both of these upcoming holidays. Husband and wife team Jeremy Anderson and Julie Chung are here. Thank you for joining us today. You've been in the West Loop for what, like 20 years now? That is a long run for any restaurant. Julie, what do you think is the key to your success there?
I think it's the community that we foster. We have so many wonderful people coming in that are warm and just show a lot of love and support for us. So we really love having it here.
That's fabulous. Now, I noticed before we even went on TV here, I noticed that you have some interesting fruit in the foreground there, and there's a reason why peaches are being featured. Tell us about this, Julie.
Yes, we're going to make one of our favorite dishes that we make at home when we're tired and we just want something quick and easy to make, and it's called a pizza. And it's called a pizza because it's a pizza that we make with peaches.
All right, you want to show us how you would do that, or maybe make Jeremy do some work?
Definitely.
Whatever. Go ahead and show us what you do.
I'm going to put Jeremy to work right now. He's going to be my sous chef. And we have all our ingredients over here. And we're also featuring Bertolli's Dress and Drizz, which is a fabulous product, new product from Bertolli. So what we're going to do is start with the pizza dough. You can either make your own or buy it like we do because we're lazy cooks. And we're going to just stretch it out like this. And then we're going to heat our cast iron skillet. It has to be a cast iron skillet, and heat it to something that's really hot and smoking. And then we're gonna put our dough right in here, and then drizzle our dress and drizz all over, along with some hot honey. You can use regular honey, but we like it hot, so we're gonna put the hot honey.
I'm a fan of that.
Salt.
Good call, good call.
Yes. The salt will make it nice and salty, sweet. And then some burrata. We're using the outer casing first. And then we're gonna put that in to the broiler, under the broiler for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And it's gonna look like something like this after a couple of minutes. But it's not a peach yet because we're missing the peaches, right?
You gotta put the fruit in there.
We're gonna put some peaches. Yeah, we're gonna put the peaches and the pistachios, which make a great combination.
Ooh, the crunch.
Yeah, and then a little bit more of the dress and drizz, which is just like liquid gold. It's gonna make this so unctuous and delicious.
All right, then
And
does
then we're
that go
gonna put
back
it
in the
back.
oven a little more?
It goes back in under the broiler for a little
Okay.
bit until it's nice and done, and voila, we have our pizza resistance, but it's not finished yet. We're gonna top it with dollops of the creamy burrata.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, yeah. And then I see some
Yeah.
balsamic glaze there, Julie. Is that going on too?
We're gonna finish it off with some balsamic glaze and
Yes.
some marjoram,
Ooh.
and a final golden touch of dress and drizzle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How fast can you deliver that to me here in the studio, Julie?
Just give us a call. I'll give you our cell number.
All right, you're also a wine bar. That does look fantastic, my goodness. Go ahead. Jeremy, you've been working hard. Go ahead and eat that, brother. What wines do you like to pair with the pizza? What do you think is the most romantic grape juice you've got going there?
Oh, I love our Pinot Noirs. I
Okay.
think that's light enough to handle. Or some of our whites. We have a really lovely Pecorino from the Pecorino region of Italy.
Okay.
And then you can come by, enjoy a glass of wine. And then if you hear in the background, we have Elon Samoa here playing. And he plays here every Friday with his trio.
Oh, that's fantastic. I thought that was a recording.
Lovely
you got a live
No,
guitar
it's
player
live.
in there. That is fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, really quickly here, you are working with your husband. How hard is it to make a business work with your spouse?
Well, it's been 20 years, so I guess we're doing something right. I think maybe separate bathrooms help, and also a lot of therapy.
Okay. Yeah, Jeremy gives a thumbs up on that one. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
All right, where can folks find out more here about your cafe and wine bar there? Where can we find you, Julie?
We're at 939 West Madison, right here in the heart of the West Loop.
Okay.
Come by, and we will treat you like our family, because we love everyone, new and old, who comes here.
All right, what
So we
about
hope to see
social
you.
media? Are you on IG or Facebook or anything? Where can we find you on
We
social?
are on all those social medias. We have our Instagram and Facebook page, and yeah, come and follow us.
All right,
and see who will be playing.
That pizza looks good. Thank your guitar player. I'm so glad we got to see him.
Thank you,
thought
Elon.
we're playing backup
Yes.
music there. Awesome. Good job there, buddy. Thank you all for joining us there from Cafe Chow and Wine Bar. All right, Jake Hamilton, you are at a place that sells recorded music. We were just featuring live music. I'm so glad you're I had so many albums as a kid, Jake. The album art, the liner notes, I miss that.
Mike Kaplan, I got to tell you something, dude. They have that album that you and I did a few years back. I didn't
let's see it.
expect them.
What is it?
Look at us. Look how young we were. Look at us. We're live out here, Reckless Records, where you can even get a glimpse of old Jake Hamilton and old Mike Kaplan. Guess what? Physical media is back, guys. We're live in Wicker Park. We're going to take you inside Reckless Records when we come back.
Power up the fun as Mickey and his friends.
This morning, we're setting the record straight. Vinyl is back in style in a big way.
No need to get reckless about getting your collection in order, though. Reckless Records has an amazing selection of music to choose from.
So who better to send than our own Jake Hamilton? He has stopped by there to check things out for us this morning. You know, I was looking at your shopping list and things that you bought. I can't believe you bought the Jaws soundtrack on cassette. Amazing.
On cassette. Dude, I'm so excited to have that. But here's the thing about Reckless Records. Whether it's the Jaws soundtrack on cassette, maybe you want a little Miles Davis, maybe you want Sabrina Carpenter. They have a little bit of everything out here, and the reason they have it is because physical media is back. In the day and age where people are streaming movies, they're streaming albums, people want to hold the things that they're paying for. It's a crazy concept, but that's what Reckless Records is all about. We're back here with my man Matt, the co-owner of the place. Matt, we were talking earlier about people wanting to physically hold things, and there is a value because when you buy something on streaming, you own it, but you don't really own it the same way you do when you own a physical copy.
That's right. When you're streaming stuff, you're really just licensing something, and every now and again a record might just disappear that you really like and you can't stream it anymore. So if you have a CD or a record, at least you have a backup copy.
They can't take it from you. You know, one of the things that I love about this place is, let's say someone at home is thinking, you know, I got too much physical media. I actually need to get rid of some of it. In addition to selling all forms of physical media, you guys buy people's physical media.
Yeah, we buy stuff every single day. Buy records, CDs, movies, VHS.
So someone has, you know, a basement full of boxes of old records or maybe old movies or something. They can either, reach out to you guys, bring it here, or you go out to them as well?
Yeah, we do both. They can give us a call. They can go onto our website. Yeah, we'll buy stuff here every day. We'll go to your house if you have a lot of stuff. Sometimes we'll go out of state. It really depends on. Wow. We're just always looking for stuff.
You know, guys, I was fascinated. Matt and I, we were talking about sort of the newer generation for whom they didn't really grow up with record stores, but you said it's interesting because a lot of them will find, like, what was the Billy Joel album? You said a lot of, like, the younger Stranger, is it fascinating to see these younger generations come in and not just sort of maybe discover the concept of a vinyl album, but like they're discovering these albums that we've known and loved for years, but for them it's a new thing.
It's true, and you never really know which one is going to be like the thing. Like for like a decade, it was Fleetwood Mac Rumors. We couldn't like keep it in stock, and it's still a crazy seller. But you know, like, yeah, Billy Joel Stranger, never would have guessed. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, you know, one of the things that I've loved since I've been here, Matt, is that, you know, all of us, and, you know, including our cameraman Sean, we've been walking through these aisles and just flipping through stuff and going, oh my God, what a great album, or like, oh, that was my first concert. And that was something you and I were talking about that I think is so fascinating. That in addition to actually being able to come out here and get a physical media, get an album, get a VHS tape, get something on cassette, you get something you're not going to get at home, which is a community, which is a conversation, which is people saying, hey, have you ever heard of this album before? And I'd imagine that's got to be a really fulfilling thing for you when you're sitting behind that counter.
I mean, honestly, it's one of my, I think all of us who work here, it's one of our favorite things is just listening to people talk and sort of like overhearing like the things they say about why they like a movie or why, you know, the first time, like you said, a first concert or whatever. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, that was what I was attracted to about record stores, was sort of going into the shop and listening to like what people were saying and talking about something. And maybe I would like pick up that record too or whatever and take it home and check it out. I mean, that's really what we're, you know, we want to provide a safe space for people to come and you know, have a community and be able to talk to each other and learn about, like, you know, art or music or movies. And, you know, that's why we do what we do.
Well, you do it very well. I was fascinated to hear that you said a lot of the newer generation in addition to obviously loving, vinyl, we've been talking about vinyl making a comeback for years. I love hearing that CDs are coming back.
It's true.
Let's go. So hold on. Let's walk over to the CDs because you guys have an amazing CD collection. You said at a time where a lot of record shops around the country were maybe giving up on CDs, you guys never did. And thankfully so, because you said there's a whole new younger generation that are kind of falling in love with CDs, maybe for the first time.
It's true. I mean, the thing is, records, they're, obviously a much larger format. There's a lot of like paper involved. Maybe there might be posters or whatever. And CDs are they're a lot more affordable. A kid might come into the shop and they could maybe buy 1 or 2 LPs. And they might they could maybe buy this many CDs, instead. And, so if they're like trying to buy stuff for their dorm room or for their bedroom at home or whatever, you can just, maybe get 10 CDs instead of 1 LP.
You come out here. This is one of the 3 shops that you guys have around the area. And I just love that it takes all of 5 seconds, guys, searching through before I go, oh, Pulp Fiction soundtrack? Yep, I'll be buying that. Yeah. I mean, it's the discovery is part of it. That wasn't planned. I legit just found that on live television. Really quick, where people can find more information.
You can come into our shops, obviously. Give us a call. Website, reckless.com.
And I got to say, guys, this is the first live shot in a while where I can walk out going, I lost money at work today, because in addition to the purchases that I made earlier, I have since found, let's look, Independence Day on VHS. Oh. I'm buying Speed on VHS, and the OG Lethal Weapon on VHS. Wow. So add that to my collection. Fox could write this off, right?
Of course. I'm not sure about that.
If it works, let us know. How about that?
Let us know. Right.
You guys have a Mike Kaplan tab? They said yes.
Thank you, Jake. We're getting the rap music from the Grammys. We're getting the rap music.
I think they're playing that music on a turntable right now.
Stream Fox 32 News on your smart TV.
9:55, and outside our studio here at
Do you
Michigan
recognize
and
that
Lake,
location?
I've walked by there many a time, and traffic moving nicely there through the salt-lined streets of the city.
But a little less snow. A little less snow. Let's send it upstairs, Studio 32, where the gang is getting ready to kick off Chicago now at the top of the hour. Hey, guys.
Good to see traffic moving. Not slipping and sliding.
yeah,
it was
for
a rough morning. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we got a great hour of Chicago now. And speaking of melting ice, we're going to talk about the ice itself. Disney on Ice.
Disney on Ice.
Caitlin, this is one of your favorite things.
So excited. I took the kiddos to see Disney on Ice. I have so many questions because it was very acrobatic, Anthony. And we get to talk to one of the ice skaters who has been skating since he was 6 years old, which makes sense because these guys are talented.
Yes, they are. We get to interview one from the ice itself, okay?
Yes.
The other thing is we're going to be speaking with our friends over at TMZ about this story that is just so sad involving Savannah Guthrie. Her mother has disappeared, and it looks like the circumstances behind her mother's disappearance, there could be foul play here. There was some evidence apparently at the home in Arizona. So we're going to be speaking with the very latest coming out of the newsroom at TMZ. And of course, we're going to end the hour with something super cute, double cute. We got not one, but two puppies that are going to visit us right here in studio.
Pause Chicago.
Pause Chicago. That's all coming up.
No matter how you start.